Good morning. If you're watching this, then I'm still in Sicily, and I'm probably now made almost entirely from pizza and pasta. Now, I promised to pre-record some shows to keep you entertained during my absence. You may have already seen our show that looked back at the demolition of the former Teesworks steelworks up in the northeast of England, and we're sticking with the demolition theme this time again. However, this time we're going to be travelling just a little bit further afield to check out the biggest high-reach excavator in the whole of Canada, and this is what it looks like.
We're in the Grover Store building in downtown Calgary. We're on 17th Avenue on the corner of 17th and 4th. This is what is known as the Red Mile, a big avenue that connects downtown Calgary to Stampede Park. This is the Grover Store building, 10-story building with a penthouse. This is really our first major demolition project in Calgary. It's a project that is helping us establish ourselves and establish our presence in Calgary. So we're very excited to be able to perform this project with our big machines and put the Priestly name out there.
We have a 10-story concrete building that we're taking down. It's about 125 feet to the roof line, and there's also a 15-foot penthouse on top of that, so we're about 140. This machine is capable of reaching 170 feet, so we have lots of reach, and the machine's actually almost reaching down on the building.
Started with where I'm standing right now. We had a 2-story portion attached to this 10-story. We've been here since about mid-January, starting with the clean demolition, abatement, followed in by the demolition of the 2-story. Then after we processed, recycled all those materials, we backfilled this whole site in preparation to get the high reaches in place to tackle this 10-story.
With the 1600, which is the highest high reach machine in Canada, we're able to offer a new solution to our clients on how to perform demolition. Nothing like this has ever been done in Calgary. So it just shows what Priestly can bring to the table, offering new solutions to bring the building down safely.
For this job, we brought the 1600 not only for the vertical reach that it has, but also the fact that the machine, when you're working on the building, you sit so far back, so you have a good line of sight. And this building is tall, but it's also very tight down here in Calgary. We're right in the city. We have a road on 2 sides and a little restaurant on the 3rd side, 10 feet away. So the further back from the building you sit, the more control you have. You can work the building from the top down a little bit easier because you're able to see further into the structure. And you also have more control of what you're doing. You can reach on top of beams to chew them out, get some of the weight off before you're folding stuff in. So this machine's very unique. There's only about 5 or 6 of them that were ever produced. It's the largest high reach in Canada. It has about 50 ton of counterweight. The tracks are removable for transport. They weigh about 33,000 pounds each. The boom is all modular. So when I say modular, I mean it's sectional. You can remove sections to configure it in different setups. So right now we have it in maximum reach setup. It's a little different to operate because it has 4 stick sections rather than a typical high reach, which only has 3. You have your main boom, your mid stick, and then your stick. But this one, you have your main boom, your mid stick, your stick, and then we have an additional sort of stinger, we call it, or 4th stick that you add on to gain extra reach.
What makes Priestly stand out for a project this size is not only do we have a fleet of equipment that can tackle it and handle it, but our in-house engineering team. That's what makes us stand out. We're able to get on the phone with our engineers and say, we've identified a problem, come take a look, and they work with us, come up with a revised plan, make alterations so that when we go through with the demolition, we're doing it safely and efficiently. That's the most important for the client. Having all of that in-house makes us efficient.
One of the challenges we have with this project was they don't have records of the building, structural design or something like that, and we just have to do scanning of the slab and the columns and try to find out what is the structural components of the building. And also we do a structural assessment of the complete building. Based on that assessment, we design the demolition plan for the building.
So one of the biggest challenges that we have in this project is obviously the location. This is a high traffic area. It's a high corridor of downtown Calgary. So keeping the people safe was a big priority. So we came up with a solution with hoarding, with overhead protection.
For protection while we're doing demolition, we have a full chain link protection screen followed with a combi grate in behind just to get that finer material as the bigger pieces hit the chain link. The combi grade grabs the smaller stuff from going off site. 100-ton crane holding up our 127-foot screen, and we got a 65-ton crane holding our 80-foot screen.
This building also has a challenge that has asbestos abatement to do. Then we have to perform that before, at the beginning of the project, and now we are in the process of the demo. PDI is good in that. PDI like the challenge project that we have to innovate new things.
With the structure, we had to remove the precast first before we can start with the structure. With that removed, it allows us to start top down, gaining line of sight, maybe a floor or two below.
With the precast around this building, we had started the demolition itself, seeing some challenges in being able to control the precast with the high reaches. We decided to move forward and strip the entire precast with the cranes and lift them all off safely.
Other challenges, we have a basement. We have a full basement, and that's 1,600. She weighs 200 ton. So as we progress into the building, we need to make sure that what we're backfilling with, the concrete that we've crumbed out of the building, it's packed in solid, that there's no voids, no cavities, because we want to be able to have good ground to sit on.
So we started this project back in March, and we started with the abatement. And after the abatement took a couple of months to complete, after that we moved into the structural demolition of the 10th-story, where we're taking about 2 bays per day.
On this structure, we'll start around the 8th floor, chew in to get a line of sight, work up the 9th, the 10th, the roof. And as we chew out, crumb out each bay at a time, that allows us to just progress further into the building.
So we're using it's an Okada processor, which weighs about 6,000 pounds. So we use that at maximum reach, and then once we take off that 4th stick, the stinger, we will be putting on a Atlas Copco CC6000, which weighs around 15,000 pounds. And that'll be at about 140 feet.
After all the demo, we just recycle everything, the concrete, the rebar, all the debris that go to our recycle companies.
We have our smaller machines that will break up all the concrete, sort the rebar, the pipe, and then we ship it all separate off to the scrapyard. And then the concrete, as it's all clean, gets then sent to a recycler as well, and it all gets put back to use.
In this project, we're working with Alice Dunn. Alice Dunn is a great partner to Priestly Demolition, not only in the East Coast, but also here in Calgary now. We have multiple projects with Alice Dunn. So a project like this that has high visibility, they chose a partner like Priestly because they know we're efficient, we're safe, and we produce a good product.
Building this size in a machine with that much power, we have to be delicate. And that is kind of where the pride comes in to, as an operator, to be able to hone your skills and make it look easy to the people on the street.
I like to work with Priestly Demolition because the challenge we have, when you have problems, you don't have problems, you have challenges. And for my career, that is the way I see things. This is a challenge, we need to find the solution. And after you finish and get a project finished, it's a very good satisfaction.
One of the reasons why I enjoy working for Priestly is the fact that it's a family-run, family-owned company. They always recognize you as an employee, not just a number. That is what I really enjoy. Now, work-wise, I've enjoyed staying with Priestly because of the challenge. We are a very large demolition company here in Canada, and therefore we tackle some very large projects, which I enjoy the challenge. I don't want to be stuck doing small things every day of my life. I want to be challenged, I want to be pushed, and that is where the growth is. They observe you, they watch you, they know what you're capable of, and they want to give you that opportunity.
The thing I enjoy most about being a high-reach operator is the variety of work that you get into. No building is the same as the next one. Every job's a little bit different, the way a building comes apart. It's difficult work, which I like. Sometimes it's a bit of an adrenaline rush. You know, you're always on your toes, and you gotta be very focused. The nice thing about demolition work is also that you work year-round, you know, like today's a rainy day, we're in the mud, but a rainy day for demolition is the best thing. You don't have the sun in your eyes when you're looking up, and the rain helps with the dust controls. It's nice being in a machine and taking down a big building, and at the end of the job you see it gone, and other people may not know it was ever there, but you know what got done and the work that was involved with it, and it's very rewarding work. So we almost call it like it's a spectator job, because there's always people lined up on the sidewalk watching these big machines work and watching buildings come down. So
yeah, that is an awesome machine from Kobelco and some terrific work by the team at Priestly Demolition. One of these days, I will get to Canada and I will get to meet up with the Priestly team. I've admired them from afar for far too long now. I'm going to be back with another pre-recorded show very soon, but until then, please stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. I'll see you again very soon. In fact, I will see you again in person on Tuesday, the 8th of August. But until